Hey everyone, I want to talk to you about 3 big mistakes you want to avoid in your surplus fund business. If you've not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Come on, click the subscribe link, click the notification link. You might say, why? Well, I give out thumb drives, I get out hats. What's in my thumb drives? They're mini courses, they're tips on surplus funds, or scripts, there's all sorts of things. I might give out a few of those this month. I'm gonna give out some hats, I might give out some shirts. So subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you on the video. 3 mistakes I'm gonna talk about. I don't necessarily have an order because all 3 can kill a deal. The first one I see is you get somebody on the phone and you got to understand, you're calling someone out of the blue and you're telling them, did you know that you have money that you didn't know you have? What is this person going to think of you? How are they going to react? And what's the response going to be? So you call, and I always like to use the name John Smith. You call John Smith, you say, Mr. Smith, did you know that you had a past bank account or a life insurance policy or a foreclosure? And he got this. And so many people, when they get the attention, they like to say, can I send you the contracts now? Okay, thank you, bye. And they get off. And I've got to say that in seeing this business for the years that I've seen it, myself getting deals, getting other people deals, the worst thing you could do is rush someone through a phone call. The biggest thing I do, and I catch myself because it's still a mistake I make, and people say, yeah, but you're so great on the phone, and yeah, we've heard so many of your scripts. Well, thank you for that, but really, I make mistakes just like everyone else. And the biggest mistake I make is I rush my phone conversations with people. I'll say, all right, let me send you the contracts, thank you, bye. And that's an escape, and why am I trying to escape? What's the fear about? Am I so afraid that they're going to reject me that they're going to hang up the phone? So I try to walk them through this. Mr. Smith, did you know that you had funds from whatever? It's a surplus overage, mortgage overage, bankruptcy, or it could even be a state life insurance policy or something like that that's been turned over to the state. So I have his attention, and I always say that the information's the best. I walk him through this. Do you have a moment? Are you at your email? I could send you over the agreements. I can have you look at these as we're talking. I can explain them to you. It's at no cost to you. And if he says no, okay, can I email you the contracts by, is not what you want to do. Well, is there a time where you can be in front of your email where I can email these over to you and have you look at them? That's really good because now you're asking him for a commitment on the email. And I see a few different successful people. I have one guy that just hard mails them and gets them back, and this guy does over 100,000 a year. I have another guy that does over 100,000 a year, and what he does is he won't send out the contracts until they're in front of their computer and they open them up with him. So they open up the contracts and they go through them. So step number 1, the biggest mistake I say to avoid here is do not rush it. You get someone, you get their attention, don't feel like you have to get off the phone. Yes, it's nerve-wracking. Yeah, there's times where I've been on the phone and they pause and I pause, and there's one of my mentors taught me, and I love this, is first one to speak loses. If you peak and have their interest and you ask them if they want to move forward, you don't want to answer for them. You want them to let them answer for themselves. So just pause and see what they have to say, and follow the script and do that. That's mistake number 1. The second biggest mistake I see is electronic communication versus real communication. So many people, when they get that first yes, they are so afraid that that yes is going to turn into a no. This is my judgment, because I see people that get yeses all the time, and then they email their clients. They do whatever they can. I read a very powerful book about someone who did hundreds of thousands of dollars in agreements. This guy says, and this was a realtor book, it wasn't a surplus funds book, but it applies in this business definitely. When you're moving hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, people don't know you and they don't trust you, and you've got to build up that level of trust. Electronic communication is not going to do it. It's not going to build that level of trust. You get the agreement with them and you get the verbal agreement. Then you let them know when the contracts got mailed, and you say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and mail you the contracts from 123 Main Street. You should have them in a few days. When is the best time for me to follow up with you? You should have them by Wednesday. Can I follow up with you on Friday? Make sure you have plenty of time to get there. Person comes back with a yes. What is the best time to reach you? Is this the best number to reach you at? And then follow up and do what you're going to do. Get the contracts out that day. Get them over to them. If you have a notary show up, or if you're doing it yourself, have them with the notary. But make sure you follow up. Why? Because if someone had a past bank account that they let go, or they've let a property go and they don't know about their funds, a lot of times you're dealing with people that you need to motivate and you need to push. And electronic communication is only going to be making noise. It's going to be clanging, like clanging a cymbal. That's it. All you're doing is making noise. Versus, hey, John, I just want to let you know I got the contracts out in the mail today. Looking forward to talking to you later on in the week. We said Friday would be a good time, and they've been mailed out. Hey, have a great day. Thank you for your time. Be real concise and direct. They need to see you as a professional. They can't see you as an insecure person. And maybe you are. I mean, I was on the phone and I had a video shown of this recently with the mall, and I actually witnessed him get his first ever deal. He was on a coaching call. It was one of the most, I mean, just watching him, because we were on a Zoom call when he called this guy, just watching him throw his like arm up in the air. Yeah, I got my first deal. Oh, this is easier than what I thought. That's awesome. Now, what he does with that deal, and you want a higher percentage of closing the deal. So you get the yes, and I always say there's the before, during, and after. The before is when you get the information for your client, you're getting their phone numbers, you're getting what type of funds they are. The during is when you're making the calls, you're doing the work, and the after is when you're doing the follow-up. You're getting the contracts out, you're communicating with the state or whoever it is, you're making sure that things get mailed in, and you're picking up the ball and you're communicating with your client. But you've got to keep that verbal communication alive and well. The third mistake that I would say avoid in this business is delaying or procrastination. So if you have someone that says, you talk to someone on Monday and they say, okay, let's go to mail out the contracts, and you say, okay, great, let's go to mail out the contracts, and you get the contracts in the mail a week, 2 weeks later, you're shooting yourself in the foot. I mean, why even get them in the mail? You always want to be on a timely manner. So within 24 hours, I always say, and one of my favorite phrases in this business is, it's like taking hot meat fresh off the grill. You're barbecuing, you get it fresh. What happens when you take that steak off the grill? It's getting colder by the second. When you talk to someone and you tell them they have money that they didn't know they had, you're telling them you're going to get them contracts that they need to sign. You tell them this is going to cost them no money. You're telling them you're going to get paid when they get paid. You're asking them for your trust. And the person's like, this sounds too good to be true most of the time when it does. And you're convincing them it's not. And then you wait several days to a week to 2 weeks to mail. And I see this all the time. Well, I never got the contracts. They won't return my call. Okay, when did you talk to them? I talked to him on the 31st of March, and it's like the 17th of April. Well, okay, you're probably not going to get the contracts back at that point. You're probably just shot yourself in the foot. So you have to be able to, and this is something that should be in your marketing plan. So 95% of businesses fail. I've given videos on this before. 95% of businesses do not have a marketing plan. You have to have a marketing plan, and in your marketing plan, you have your before, you have your during, and you have your after. And your after is going to be the follow-up, getting the contracts out, making sure that they're filled out properly, making sure that your client knows the contracts are on their way, making sure your client has a follow-up time, and then holding your client accountable. Okay, when can I expect to receive these back? I had someone the other day, and you're going to get this. This is a bonus. So those are the three that I've gone over, okay? So take those three mistakes, avoid those mistakes, make your business very, very profitable. So a total bonus. I had someone the other day tell one of my students in the course that they could do it themselves and they weren't going to go forward, or they didn't want to work with them. He had gotten them the contracts and everything, and the guy called him back, and it was like his second or third deal he'd gotten. He's fairly new, and he called me to say, what do I do in this situation? I said, put him in your CRM, put him 8 weeks out, and just say, hey, I just want to follow up with you. I know it didn't go too well. I'm not sure what happened, but I want to let you know I'm still here. I have people that get contracts. In fact, I did have a guy last week. It was only $1,000. Nick, and he's on one of my previous videos. He followed up with this guy 20 times. After 20 phone calls, he finally got the signed contract back in the mail, and he's now collecting. And he'll get a $1,000 commission. It's like it's something like a $10,000 deal, or I think actually I take that back. It's a $5,000 deal, and he's getting 20%. And we've talked about that because I have people doing one of those a week. That's $4,000 a month. That's $48,000 a year. That's a pretty good salary. So you got to be asking yourself, what do you want? What are your goals and everything? But yeah, follow up with your past clients. In fact, you should have a CRM. I give a whole nother video on CRM. Have the follow-ups in the CRM. Have a special column with either past yeses or got the contracts out or never got the contracts back, and be following up with these people, and spend every other week working that list and updating your notes and setting a time to call them in the future. That's how you get past deals. And think about that. You get 2 or 3 live deals 1 week, and then you get a deal that you had passed that now comes back to life. I mean, that's going to be that much more success to your business. Hey, thanks for watching. Again, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do so. I do give out freebies. I'd like you to be one of my lucky winners. And click the notification link, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.